amazing, Naveen Jain. And I mean, Naveen, I love the view that you just shared with me. And we haven't talked on live for maybe a year and a half. So a lot has changed since our last conversation. And
Sure
really,
has.
like, so much with health, right? So much with healthcare. And there's so many people in business watching this right now. What do you think has really changed in terms of health in the last, year and a half? And I know you're heavy in this space.
So first of all, Shani, I want to thank you for doing this, what you do. And I want everyone who is listening to it, for them to know that you dedicate your life to making their life better. And to me, there's nothing in the world that I am more grateful for than the people like you in the world who take the time off from their day to do the things that can help other people's life be better. So with that, Shani, my hat's off to you for doing what you do.
You're gonna make me cry like the first minute.
No, Shani. And it really is because, you could do so many things. You're an extremely talented person, but you decided you're going to go out and really focus on things, bringing the guests, giving your own wisdom, and bringing all the wisdom from the world to the audience that so they can be better. And to me, that is the way to create world peace. Because, if you think about in the life, people resort to violence because they feel helpless and they feel hopeless, right? And if you can give them a hope that tomorrow is going to be better than today, you give them a hope that what they're doing is actually going to work out for them, there is going to be, that's how you create a sustainable peace. So, right, you talk about world peace, there you have it, right? But to answer your question on healthcare, lot had changed in the last couple of years. And obviously COVID has been one of the biggest cloud in the healthcare, and this has really to some extent has made us feel so vulnerable, so helpless, right? It's not like we can do something about it. Having said that, this is a pandemics like these are once in 100 years, right? But every single day, the humanity and our loved ones are suffering from the chronic diseases, whether we call them cancer, when we call them diabetes, heart disease, obesity, mental health issues that are constantly younger and younger people are suffering from, and the neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer and dementia, where people lose their memory, right? These diseases don't have to happen. These are purely the lifestyle choices. And a lot of the times, Shani, what happens is we all believe we are doing the right thing. We're eating the right foods without knowing the things that we consider healthy are exactly the things that could be harming you. Now, going back and looking at my own journey, Shani, I was eating healthy food. I was vegan. I was eating, broccoli and cabbage and the Brussels sprout and spinach. And I thought I was a, somebody who would say I would consider myself healthy eating. And turned out those were exactly the food that were causing inflammation in my body. So when I did the Viome, as you know, I started a company called Viome. And I can't pronounce the word Viome, which is V as in Victor.
I love it. I love it.
So it's Viome. And, you do the test, you get at-home kit. And you are able to now know what is happening inside your body. What is your biological age looks like? What does your immune health looks like? What does your cellular health looks like? What does your gut health looks like, right? And then it tells you, hey, don't eat broccoli because your sulfite production is too high and that's actually going to cause inflammation in your body. Don't eat spinach because your oxalate production is very, very low. Secondly, don't eat vitamin B3 because your uric acid production is too high. Don't take your curcumin and turmeric, which everyone says is healthy for you, but guess what? Your bile acid production is too high. Cut down on the turmeric. Don't take NAD that maybe really people think, for living long is going to shorten your life because your cellular senescence is too high. Right? So it tells you literally, here is what's happening in your body. Eat these food, and here's why. Don't eat these food. Here is why. And by the way, you need these nutrients in your body. So you need 22 milligram of elderberry. You need 17 milligram of elderberry. And we make those capsules for you on demand robotically. There's no pre-made stuff. We literally take every vitamin, mineral, herbs, digestive enzyme, amino acid, probiotic, prebiotic, package them, make in that dosage only those ingredients that you need, and ship them to you every month. Right? The interesting thing is, having done this, Shani, my biological age came down. So I'm 62 years old, by the way, right? And
you don't look
biology,
62 at all.
that's my point, is that is the beauty of the
You look
people
like you're like
about,
43.
oh my gosh, Sean, now you're going to make me blush. And it's so hard to make a brown guy to blush, right? Yeah. Honestly, to me, it's not about reversing aging. It is about being old and still feeling young, right? So to me, when I'm 70, I want to be my biological age to be 40. I don't want to be 40. I want to be 70 because I have wisdom that I have accumulated. But I want to have energy of a 40-year-old person. I want to be able to run up that hill and still feel that I can do what I want to do. I want to be able to start 10 other companies because I feel I still have energy, right? And that to me is the gift that I want for every one of us to have, right? Now, coming back to COVID, what COVID has done is that actually make people realize the healthcare is in their hands. That means they get to be the commander of their own health. And that is literally what changed, that I believe the future of healthcare is going to be delivered at home, not at the hospital. And I think COVID has accelerated the telehealth mechanism. A lot of at-home tests are coming out, right? And the second thing that has really happened is I believe the future of medicine is going to come from a farm, not a pharmacy, right? So that means the food is going to be the medicine. And it is not like something we innovated, right? Hippocrates said that, let food be thy medicine. So it's not like anything new, right? So Shani, my feeling is the COVID has accelerated the thing which I think we all needed, which is us to feel in control of our own health. And now we are eating healthier. We are working out, we're taking our supplements, and I really hope this trend continues post-COVID. So that means after the things get back to normal, we still actually focus on our health, because when you are sick, you only have one wish. And when you're healthy, you have many wishes.
Yeah, and that's true. And a lot of people listening, Naveen, to us right now are entrepreneurs. And unfortunately, I see too many entrepreneurs, even like if in their late 20s, right? Early 30s, they're suffering from so many health conditions and they're just throwing away their health. I've always been kind of hyper conscious of my health because I'm a cancer survivor, pediatric cancer survivor. So I've kind of had, I've been trained to be conscious of it, right? But for someone who's, let's say, in their early 30s, who feels like they have no energy by 1 p.m. in their business, what advice would you really give to them other than, get this test to see what you should be eating, what you should be doing? Like, because for me, it's less about time management. It's more about like energy optimization, because I can't control the time that I have on earth, right? Anything could happen at any moment. So I can, though, control my choices to optimize my energy to give the most, not just for my business, but to God, to my family, to myself. And I think that entrepreneurs don't focus on this enough.
And I think, Shani, you're so right. First of all, I'm so sorry to hear. I'm glad that you are a cancer survivor, because my really hope is, Shani, that in the next decade, the cancer will be thing of the past. We are starting to now understand what is causing the onset of a cancer, what is causing progression of the cancer. And I really hope we'll be able to prevent the cancer from happening in the first place. And if it does happen, to be having a very precise medicine to be able to cure that for that person. In fact, at Wyoming, we now have an early cancer detection program. So we are launching a program where you spit in a tube and you'll be able to detect stage one oral cancer, stage 1 throat cancer with 98% specificity, right? We just got the FDA breakthrough device designation for this program, and we're launching that. We are developing with GSK a therapeutics for colorectal cancer. We are developing for autoimmune diseases, right? So these are all the things that are going to happen within our lifetime. Now, if you're in late 20s, early 30s, you feel you're invincible, but that's the time you have to take care of your health, because guess what happens? While you think you're invincible, you're slowly damaging your health. And by the time you realize the symptoms of it, your body has already taken a wear and tear on that thing, right? So the best thing you can do is not to wait until the symptoms happen. Don't think you're not sick just because you can't feel things, right? Your body internally may be sick. And a lot of the people I see, Shani, that especially the young girls, my heart goes out to them. The society wants them to look thinner, and they go on these fat diet, they go on this keto diet, which absolutely destroys their body completely. We published a paper in Cell, by the way, that showed the people who are on keto diet are biologically older than their chronological age. People who are on this paleo diet are absolutely destroying their body. Keto is the worst diet, by the way. It just absolutely kills your body, right? So to me, you have to be, when you're young, is to feed the nutrients your body needs. And the only way to do that is to know what is happening inside your body. So again, I'm not trying to sell Viome tests. By the way, we make no money. We sell them at cost for us, right? Is because this is the way for us to give back. And I think just like, Shani, I grew up in a very, very poor family. When we came to the United States about 38 years ago, I didn't, in India, we didn't have food to eat. We didn't have place to stay. And God has been so kind to us. Today, there is not a thing in life that we need. So I am dedicating my life to helping people live better, because society gave me so much. And this is my time to give back to them. And I really hope anyone who's listening to it, just know, don't despair. If you're an entrepreneur, accept there are going to be ups and downs. This is what life is. And I think, Shani, once we talked about it, that, the only way you're alive is because you have a heartbeat, right? And what does the heartbeat look like? It goes up and down and up and down, right? That means this is life. So when you are down, all you have to do is hunker down and know that the next beat is going to be up. And when you are on top of that beat, never get too arrogant, because know the winter is coming and winter shall come, right? If you never look for the smooth life, what happens when you're smooth life? You're dead. So when you're looking for a life that is smooth, you're looking for a life of a dead person. So don't be that person that doesn't want to live, except that there are going to be ups and downs. Accept them when they happen, right? And enjoy the life. The ups and downs is what makes you stronger. But always never get too arrogant, and always stay humble, because like you, Shani, you are so successful, but look at your humility. Humility is a sign of success. If you have iota of arrogance, then it means it shows people that you're still trying to prove yourself and prove someone else. The day you let go of the arrogance is the day you become successful, right? And I think you are a shining example of that. And I love everything about you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And, when I look at someone like you, really, like, you inspire a lot of people, including me, to be as successful as almost like humanly possible, right? But still serving humanity and still being positive. And I saw this interview recently, and on the business side, I want to see if you agree with this. There was this billionaire that he was asked, I don't know who it was, but he was asked a question, and somebody asked him, do you relax like when you're at your highest point, like when things are basically calm? And he said, actually, like, I'm my most paranoid at when things are the best, right? And do you agree with kind of that, like, paranoid optimism where, like you said, it's great to savor the moment, but if you're up, you have to kind of foresee what could come in the future to be prepared?
Absolutely. I mean, Shani, that is my point, is that when you are on top of that beat, never think that, you're done, because the down it will come. It's just a matter of time. And so when things are looking that you are absolutely on top of your game, that's a time to start thinking about what is going to go wrong. What can you do to prevent it? And when that happens, accept it, that it's okay, because that's the life cycle of things, right? And even if you're down, just know, hunker down, work hard, and you're going to be at the top of that game again, right? And that is the life we all have to live. You just can't live like this. That is not the life you want. That has nothing to look forward to, right? So to me, success is not about the amount of money you're going to have in the bank. In fact, it is about the number of lives you improve. And it is, fortunately, the more lives you improve, the more money you end up making. And it is just somehow is a byproduct of doing things that are good for the people, the lives you improve. If you can help 1 billion people live a better life, You can create a $500 billion company, but you don't go wake up in the morning and say, I want to create a $500 billion company. What do I do? That's not how life works, right? To me, money will happen, and it happens when you're actually serving people and making their life better, because they become your customer. They are the one that actually sustain your business. So keep focusing on what can I do today that will improve my customers' lives. And if you focus on that, everything will come from that.
Yeah, I love that, because I speak with a lot of entrepreneurs. Maybe they're just breaking their first 6 figures, and they're afraid to double down on their customer, right? They're afraid to potentially lose other people because they're gonna, I advise that they hyper focus on their current customer. And so what would you say to someone who's afraid to like niche down because they're afraid they could lose some markets, but you know, through not niching down, they're not really serving their ultimate customer?
Well, I think, Shani, you know the answer to that is that 2 things. Acquiring customer is extremely expensive. It's easier to keep an existing customer than to lose the existing one and keep finding the new ones, right? Your existing customer, if you serve them well, they become your ambassador. They become the word of mouth that goes out and tells 10 other people. And literally that's what happens with Viome. We don't spend money on advertising. What we do, we satisfy our customer. And when they feel better, they buy the kits for their mom and their sister and their brother, and they give that to everybody for a Christmas gift, right? So to me, what better way to actually acquire customer is to make the current customers happy. So when they tell me that they no longer have acne, they no longer have eczema, they lost weight, they sleep better, they have more energy than they ever had before, right? And all these things, when people feel better, they tell 10 more people, right?
I no longer can notice. People notice too. Like, what have you been doing that's different? You seem a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, and you don't feel bloated anymore, and you don't have the digestive issues anymore. And then you're willing to tell everybody in the world, oh my God, I didn't even know I could, you know, I was sick.
I know. And I think that that's such something that maybe we should talk about. People are afraid to almost be excellent. It's like, look down on to be exceptional and to be excellent, whether it's the way you feel in your health, the way you perform in your business, the goals that you have. What would you say to someone who kind of almost feels guilty about having huge goals?
Well, you know, to me, the reason people don't want to have a huge goals because they are afraid to fail. To me, anything, if you're going to do something, it takes the same amount of energy to do something small than to do an audacious moonshot goals. In fact, it's easier to do an audacious moonshot goal than to do a small thing. Imagine if you, like, you know, when I started this company, Viome, I said, we are going to focus on our mission of making illness a matter of choice, not a matter of bad luck. Guess what happened? I had the head of IBM Watson come and join us. I found the technology and the chief scientist who actually was working on a problem. And he said, I'm going to quit this and I want to join your mission, because if we could do that, that will help billions of people. It will create a legacy for me, right? So it allows the best and the brightest to come and join your mission when you have an audacious goal. Nobody wants to join a person who is not inspiring them to be at their best. Nobody wants to join a team that, even if they are successful, is not going to be able to help more than 100 people, million people, right? Why not do something that will change the trajectory of how humanity lives? And just know that there is no such thing as failure for an entrepreneur. Your idea may or may not succeed. And every idea that does not work is simply a stepping stone to a different idea and a bigger idea, right? So entrepreneurs don't fail, they simply pivot and they keep finding things until they work. In fact, every company who is successful today, Facebook, Twitter, I mean, you pick a name you want, Apple, all of them went through a near-death experience where they thought the company won't survive. And look at them today. Amazon, the stock was under $5 and they are now $2 trillion. Apple was bankrupt. Microsoft saved them. And now Apple is one of the best companies in the world. And you can go through Oracle, went through almost as a dead company and at the top of the game. So every successful company goes through that near-death experience. So if you're experiencing that today, All that means is you are on to the greatness. All you have to do is stay focused on your customer, serve them well, and they will serve you well.
I love it. So I have a question. So if you, let's say you lost everything today, God forbid, obviously, but for the people out there, kind of to get perspective, if they don't have anything, right? If they only have access to tools like LinkedIn, social media, whatever, they don't have a network, they don't have anything. How would you advise in 2022 that they could start to change their life and maybe, reach customers and things like that?
Well, Shani, that's really amazing. 10 years ago, I would have said, oh my God, you have to go find people where people are. Now with social network, it doesn't matter who you are. If you can find a mission that people resonate with, it suddenly becomes a thing that everyone is talking about. You can reach out to almost anyone on the internet. Like you reached out to me, right? Right. I mean, it doesn't matter who you want. You can literally reach out. I talk to people who are, who have no presence on the internet. It doesn't matter to me because the fact is they reached out to me. I'm happy to give them the advice, right? So my point is, it is so much easier to get funding, to get advice, and to actually get customers if you just are genuine and genuinely looking for someone's help and advice. What people don't want is a fake person who is saying, hey, I just want your advice, and they're looking for money. Be honest and say, I'm looking for money. And it's okay for someone to say, I am not interested in investing. That's okay. But when you try to make the fake relationship for a wrong reason, guess what? That is what does not work on the internet anymore, right? What works is the genuineness. You have to be sincere in what you do. You have to be sincere in what you ask for. And I think, again, Shani, I'm not trying to make you feel, you are that person. You are in person the same one that you project on the internet. It's not like you are one of the fake person. I'm going to be an influencer, right? You're not an influencer. You became an influencer by being genuine.
Yeah, it really did. Like people are like, how did you build personal brand? I'm like, I was consistent. Like I showed up. I didn't like go into it with the intention of like building a personal brand.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I tell people that, it's just so important. People are at the heart of everything, service. And I think that if your business is truly aligned with your purpose, it's through service and through helping others, like you're saying. So for the entrepreneurs out there, Naveen, like obviously there's so much coming. There's, Mars, I guess, in however many years. Now there's the metaverse. And things are changing. Technology is evolving. So how do you advise that, like, if you're making, let's say for the entrepreneurs, 6-7 figures right now, how can they accelerate their growth in the next 2 to 3 years? What advice would you give?
Shani, it is so simple. You answered it yourself, right? The technology is advancing so fast. The leaders of today are going to be the dead companies of tomorrow, right? So every company that is on top of their game is going to be Kodak, right? I mean, as the technology,
right? Going to be Kodak. That's savage. That's funny.
Like, my point is, as technology advances, it allows the new generation of entrepreneurs to actually become the leader in that marketplace. And to me, whether it's a metaverse, suddenly there is a whole new opportunity to be created. Just with the blockchain, there is a new opportunity to be created. NFTs creating the whole new market. And if you ask a lot of the CEOs of the Fortune 500 company, they say, I don't know what blockchain is. I don't know what
I don't know what an NFT is. They don't know what an NFT is a lot of the times.
Exactly my point. So that is the reason why you are here today. You get to take advantage of all the new stuff is coming along. And as the stuff takes off, you become the market leader, and all the guys who were the current leader gets left behind. So to me, every change is an opportunity for you to shine. Every disruption is actually an opportunity for you to take over someone, right? Every single hiccup that happens in your life is an opportunity for you to be better. And just remember, universe is your friend. If something is happening to you, universe has a plan for you. Don't think it is good or bad. Good or bad is in your mind. 10 years from now, you will realize the thing that you thought was bad actually turned out to be the best thing that could have ever happened to you, because what you learned from it changed who you became.
I love it. And I know your time is super valuable, Naveen. So just one more question.
Yeah.
I really believe that it's not talked about enough, the power of intuition in business, right? Because you only have a certain amount, like you could look at the data, it may kind of give you one part of the story, but how important is it to sometimes use your intuition to propel you forward? And how do you connect better with your intuition?
I mean, honestly, that is one of the most important thing I learned. Everyone tells you, let the data speak. And I'm a big believer, until you have the data, how do you decide what to do? And what you decide is using intuition. And to me, the key to entrepreneurial success is to be true to yourself. You can bullshit everyone else how great things are, but when you go to sleep and when you're all alone, listen to that faint voice that tells you, don't do this. It's not immoral to do. Don't do that. It's unethical to do. And by the way, things are working or not working. You know that well. So to me, listening not just to your brain, but to your heart and your intuition, that your gut, right? Listen to your gut to tell you what is going on, right? And any businessman, 99% of the people, when people say they are lucky, first of all, they work very hard and they listen to their intuition. And they sometimes are willing to walk down the aisle that everyone thinks there is no gold, until they run into a gold and everyone says you are lucky.
Yeah, it's true. So what final words do you have? How can people connect with you who are listening? How can they learn more about Viome, especially, I mean, it's a new year, people want to prioritize their health, their family's health. So how can they, get a kit and start?
Yes. So Shani, first of all, you can follow me on LinkedIn. Send me a message on LinkedIn. I'm always available. Follow me on Instagram. You can always reach out to me on Instagram or LinkedIn. And by the way, if you want to reach out to me directly, I'm the easiest person to reach. It's my first name dot last name @gmail.com. And I answer every email I get. You may not like my answer, but I answer every email I get.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I love it.
Right. So, Shani, to me, anyone who is really looking to get their health better, please go to viome.com. That's V as in Victor, IOME.com, and sign up for that. And I hope that, share your journey with me. And if it's not working, call me. Let me know why it's not working. We'll fix it for you, right? So to me, every one of you is going to help the humanity get better, because when you join Viome, you're benefiting from the other 300,000 people who came before you. And now you become part of the community that we learned from. Our AI is getting smarter and smarter as you're contributing the data, your own information, so that we get better, so that every single person coming after you get better and coming before you got better, right? So to me, it's part of really as humanity coming together to change the trajectory of how we are going to live in the future and become. And one day, my hope really is, Shani, that billions of people on this planet Earth are going to live a disease-free life, and no one will ever have to suffer as a child with a cancer again. I lost my dad to cancer, and I can tell you that I am dedicating my life to solving that problem. And I really hope no one that we know will ever have to suffer through cancer or diabetes or heart disease or obesity or mental health and die from at a young age. That is just not, good for us.
I love it. And I love your purpose and just your willingness to just continuously give. And the fact that like how you said, you want to be 70 and start 10 more businesses. It's just that energy and that magnetism that really attracts so many people to you. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here, Naveen. I'm going to tag Viome in the blurb on LinkedIn and everything. And just thank you for your time. I know how valuable it is.
Thank you, Shani, for doing what you do. And please stay in touch and let's do more things together.
Oh, I will.
All right, take care.
100%. 100%. I'm going to email you, okay?
Thanks a lot, Shani. Take care of yourself.